The murder of Reeva Steenkamp, a crime that shook the world. On the night of February 14, 2013, a tragic and mysterious event occurred at the home of South African Olympic athlete Oscar Pistorius. What was meant to be a romantic Valentine's Day evening quickly descended into a chilling nightmare. Reeva Steenkamp, a 29-year-old model and aspiring law graduate, was fatally shot by Pistorius, her boyfriend of a few months, in what was initially claimed to be a tragic case of mistaken identity. But as the investigation unfolded, the true nature of the crime began to surface, leaving the world questioning. Was this an accident, or was it a deliberate act of violence? The events that unfolded that night are still clouded in mystery. Oscar Pistorius, known as the Blade Runner for his iconic prosthetic legs, had been dating Reeva for a short time. They were an unlikely couple, as Pistorius, a double amputee who overcame incredible odds to become an international sports icon, seemed to have found happiness with Reeva, who was beautiful, successful, and vibrant. However, behind the glittering surface of their relationship, there were signs of tension. That fateful night, Pistorius claimed he heard a noise coming from his bathroom and, fearing an intruder had entered his home, fired multiple shots through the locked bathroom door. When he broke the door down, he allegedly found Reeva fatally wounded on the other side. He said he didn't know it was her at the time and that he thought he was protecting himself from a potential threat. However, there were glaring inconsistencies in Pistorius's version of events. For one, the ballistic evidence suggested that the shots were not fired in panic, but with precision, as Pistorius fired 4 shots through the door. Reeva had been hit in the hip, arm, and head, and the position in which she was found indicated that she may have been standing and trying to protect herself when the shots were fired. Additionally, Pistorius's behavior after the shooting raised further suspicions. Neighbors reported hearing arguments between the couple earlier that evening, and some even claimed they heard screams before the gunshots. This led many to question whether Pistorius's claim of a mistaken identity was truly believable, or if he had lost control during an argument and deliberately killed Reeva. As the investigation progressed, Pistorius was arrested and charged with murder. The case attracted international attention, not only because of the brutality of the crime, but because of Pistorius's fame as a disabled athlete who had inspired millions with his story of overcoming adversity. The public was divided. Some believed Pistorius's claim of an accident, while others saw it as a deliberate act of violence born out of rage. During the trial, it was revealed that Pistorius had a history of aggressive behavior and had been involved in previous incidents of violence, including an altercation at a restaurant and an incident involving firearms. His temper and impulsive reactions were part of the prosecution's case that the shooting was intentional, not a tragic mistake. Despite his defense team's argument that the shooting was an accident, Pistorius was ultimately convicted of culpable homicide, a lesser charge than murder, and sentenced to 5 years in prison. However, this verdict was met with widespread criticism, and the case was appealed. In 2016, Pistorius was resentenced to 6 years in prison for the murder of Reeva Steenkamp. In 2017, the South African Supreme Court upgraded his conviction to murder, and he was sentenced to 13 years and 5 months in prison. The question that still lingers is, what really happened on that fateful night in Oscar Pistorius's home? Was it truly a case of mistaken identity, as Pistorius claimed? Or was Reeva Steenkamp the victim of a man who, in a fit of rage, lost control and took her life? Some believe that Pistorius had been struggling with insecurities and jealousy, which could have contributed to an explosive confrontation. Others argue that he acted in self-defense, not realizing the danger of his actions in the heat of the moment. Whatever the truth may be, Reeva's tragic death has left an indelible mark on the world. Reeva Steenkamp's death has raised important questions about domestic violence, power, and control in relationships. Her family, devastated by her loss, has worked tirelessly to keep her memory alive and to raise awareness about the dangers of abusive relationships. Reeva's story serves as a reminder that no one is immune to violence, even those who appear to live charmed lives. Her death also opened the door for discussions about mental health, anger management, and the potential dangers of celebrity and fame. Oscar Pistorius's fall from grace is one of the most dramatic and heartbreaking examples of how fame and privilege cannot shield anyone from the consequences of their actions. As Oscar Pistorius serves his time in prison, the world continues to ponder the truth behind the murder of Reeva Steenkamp. Was it a mistake that cost her life, or a calculated crime fueled by rage? What is clear is that the loss of Reeva has left an irreplaceable hole in the lives of those who loved her. Her memory endures, and her story remains one of the most tragic and haunting in recent criminal history. To dive deeper into the details of this chilling case, watch the full story on my channel. Learn about the key moments from the trial, the shocking revelations, and the questions that remain unanswered. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more true crime mysteries that will leave you questioning everything.